Okay, so in the last class we were discussed about the stability and causality. So today we will discuss inverse system and its stability and causality. Okay, so what is meant by inverse systems? Okay, so we have already know that inverse of this system. Say for example, if we have the system's impulse response h of n. Okay, so now its inverse impulse response we can represent it as h inverse of n. Okay, so now this is the response of the system. Say for example, you have a system. Okay, so its impulse response is h of n. So you have the input x of n and corresponding output y of n. Okay, so now if you want the inverse of this system, so that inverse of the impulse response of the system, so we denote it as h inverse of n. So now if you convolve both h of n in time domain, the inverse of this signal, okay, so then you will get the del function. Okay, so this is your the if you multiply the system's impulse response and its inverse, then you will get the impulse signal. Okay, so the del of n. So now if you take the inverse, because convolution is a tedious job that we know, so that's why if you take the z transform of this, you will get h of z. Okay, take z transform both the sides, so then what you will get, the convolution will become multiplication, so you will get h inverse of z, so this will become 1. So then we can easily find out what is the inverse of the system, that is h inverse of z, which is nothing but so the 1 over h of z. So now if you know the z transform of the impulse response, then we can easily find out what is its inverse function or inverse impulse response. So this, once you find out the inverse of the h of z, you will get h inverse of that. Then taking inverse z transform, you will get the inverse of the system. So instead of finding out the convolution and doing the tedious job, so take the z transform of both h of n and h inverse of n. So then you can find out easily the impulse response, that is inverse of the system. Okay, so now you will take an example and how to find out the stability and causality. So now once you take the inverse of this h of z, once you know, so then h inverse of z, you see the what are all the poles. Okay, so in the denominator, so based on the poles, so you can decide whether the inverse system, whether it is stable or not. Okay, so now we will find out one problem. So based on this, then we will come to know so how we can find out the inverse of the system. So now we have h of z, the problem which is given, the transfer function which is given by 1 minus 4z inverse plus 4z power minus 2, this divided by 1 minus half z inverse plus 1 by 4 z power minus 2. Now h of z is given, so now we have to find inverse inverse transfer function. Okay, so find inverse transfer function and also find whether this inverse transfer function or inverse impulse response, whether it is stable or not, and also we can find out whether it is causal or not. Okay, so now how to do this? So first you take the inverse of this system. So we know that h inverse of z, which is nothing but 1 over h of z. Okay, so now invert this one. So if you invert this one, so you will get 1 minus half z power minus 1 plus 1 by 4 z power minus 2. So this divided by 1 minus 4 z power minus 1 plus 4 z power minus 2. So now find the roots of this one so that you can able to say whether this inverse system is stable or not. So for that I will multiply both numerator and denominator by z square. So So you will get z square minus half z plus 1 by 4, and this divided by z square minus 4z plus 4. Okay, so now we can find out easily the roots of this one. So you can write z square minus half z plus 1 by 4, this divided by, so we can write z minus 2 whole square. Okay, so now you can see where the pole it is. Okay, so the z is equal to 2. So z is equal to 2 means it is outside the unity circle, both the poles. So two poles are at z equal to 2. So if you have this, there is a unity circle, that is z equal to 1. So now we have two poles here, z equal to 2. Okay, so there are two poles here. So since the poles are outside the unity circle, so then the system is not stable and it is also not causal. Okay, causal and not causal and stable. Okay, so understood. So find out the poles. So this is very important, finding out the roots. Then based on this we can decide whether the system inverse system, because we are finding out the roots for the inverse system. Okay, so this inverse system is not causal and stable. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt? So take one more and try to find out the inverse system whether it is stable or causal. So now this is in terms of difference equation. Okay, so how we know already how to convert difference equation into a transfer function. So take this one difference equation and try to convert it into transfer function, then find the inverse, then find the roots, then find the system whether it is stable or not. Okay, so find the transfer function and stability of the system described by the difference equation, which is given by the difference equation which is given by y of n minus 1 by 4 into y of n minus 2, which is equal to 6 into x of n minus 7 into x of n minus 1. Okay, so plus 3 into x of n minus 2. So now this is the difference equation which is given. Okay, so now find out the transfer function from this, then you will come to know so the system's roots, then we can find out whether it is stable or not. Okay, so now find out the transfer function. How we will find out? So take z transform of this difference equation, that is y of z minus 1 by 4 into z power minus 2 into y of z. Okay, so which is equal to 6 into x of z minus 7 into z inverse into x of z plus 3 into, so z power minus 2 into x of z. Okay, so now take y of z common, you will get 1 minus 1 by 4 z power minus 2. Okay, so this is equal to x of z, you can take common here and you will get 6 minus 7 z inverse plus 3 z power minus 2. So now what is the definition of h of z in terms of output and input? So it is y of z divided by x of z. So if you do like that, so you will get 6 minus 7 z power minus 1 plus 3 z power minus 2. So this divided by 1 minus 1 by 4 z power minus 2. So now this is our h of z, but we need to find inverse of this system. So now what is your inverse of the system? So find out the inverse of the system. So what is h inverse of z? So h inverse of z, which is equal to 1 minus 1 by 4 z power minus 2. So this divided by 6 minus 7z inverse plus 3z power minus 2. So multiply and divide both numerator and denominator by z square. So we will get z square minus 1 by 4 divided by, so 6z square minus 7z plus 3. So now you can use the formula, so which is well known formula, z equal to minus b plus or minus root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So now a equal to 6, b equal to minus 7, c equal to 3. So find out the z, the roots of this equation. Tell me the roots. Find out the roots. What are the roots? Deepika, find out. Sonia, what are the roots? Hello. Tejasvi Sharma. Hello. At least you have to speak out. Otherwise, you will not treat it as present. Hello. Anybody has done the roots?
Sir, 0.97 and 0.19.
0.97 and
0.19.
okay. Okay. So is it 0.97 and 0.19? Okay. So both are positive. Okay. So we have to find out if it is a complex roots. Okay. Z, if Z are complex, then you have to find out only the magnitude of the roots, because we have to plot the magnitude of this one. Okay. So then we have to find out the whether this pole is inside the unity circle or outside the unity circle. Okay. So now what is the poles? Both the poles, say for example, if we consider these are the roots, okay. If you consider these are the roots, so then if you plot that one, so both it is inside the unity circle, right? You can observe, so the magnitude value here, it is both inside the unity circle. So if this is z equal to 1, okay, unity circle, so you have the pole here z equal to 0.9 and z equal to 0.19. So then both the poles exist inside the unity circle. So then we can say that system is stable, and also it is causal because it is both the poles exist inside the unity circle. So then we can say the system is both stable and causal. Okay, so see the proper I thought these are the proper roots and I'm saying this one. Okay, so if it is a different one, you have to get different thing. Okay, find out properly. So these are the roots, assuming these are the roots, then we can say that system is stable and causal. Okay, so just for confirmation, we once more find out what is the roots. So minus b, that is plus 7, plus or minus square root of 49 minus 4 AC, 4 into 6 into 3 divided by 2 into 6, which is equal to 7 plus or minus square root of, so 49 minus 72, right, divided by 12. So this is equal to 7 plus or minus j. So how much difference? 23, right? So square root of 23 divided by 12. So now we have to find out only the magnitude. So if you find out magnitude, is it coming this one, Subramanya? Have you got this one same? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So have you got this one? The complex roots.
Yes, sir. Then only took magnitude.
Okay. So
Just
then,
verified on.
yeah, this is the magnitude 0.97. Okay. So okay. So if these are the magnitudes and this is the, so the system, we can plot and we can say that the roots are inside the unity circle and it is both system stable and causal. Okay. So now, so we'll go to another concept. So this is about the inverse of the system, and we can say whether the system, inverse system, whatever we find, whether it is stable or not. So now similarly, so another concept we'll call it as the unilateral unilateral Z transform. So unilateral Z transform. So till now we have find out the Z transform of two-sided. So even though we have like if you have multiplied like 2 power n into u of n, since the signal u of n it is multiplied here, we have taken 0 to infinity. But until unless if we have, if you don't have u of n, we'll tell that one it as a bilateral Z transform. Okay. So if we don't have this one, so we'll take it that as a bilateral Z transform. But even though, so in the unilateral this is the Z transform, what will happen, even though if we have x of n values for n less than 0, we should not take it. Only for n greater than 0 we should consider whatever the signal which is given. So that's we will call it as unilateral Z transform. So the Z transform is, so the Z transform is defined only for n greater than or equal to 0. So then only we'll call it as that one unilateral Z transform. Okay. So now we know the expression for x of z. Okay. So that we know expression for x of z, which is n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into z power minus n. So now for the unilateral z transform, okay, for unilateral z transform, so we need to take always the x of z from 0 to infinity. Okay. So summation n equal to 0 to infinity, so x of n into z power minus n. Okay. So this is what your unilateral Z transform, how it can be defined. So now say for example, if you have the signal y of n, okay, so which is given by x of n minus 1. So now how we can express this in terms of the Z transform. So now if you take the unilateral Z transform for this, okay, so take, so unilateral Z transform for this. So if you take the unilateral Z transform for this, so we will get y of z, which is equal to summation, so n equal to 0 to infinity, so you will be having x of n minus 1 into z power minus n. So now we can represent like this. So this is a signal which is given. So now if I put the n equal to 0, so we will get x of minus 1, okay, plus, so into z power 0 it will be there. So whatever n value we will putting, so x of minus 1 into z power 0, plus I can write again summation n equal to 1 to infinity x of n minus 1 into z power minus n. So now similarly, so if you put again here n equal to 1, okay, so then you will go on getting the values, okay. So now for this one I'll take n minus 1 equal to m, okay, so I'll replace, so n minus 1 equal to m. So what I'll get, so I will get it as y of z, which is equal to x of minus 1, so since z power 0 is 1, plus, so what I'll get, so since I am putting n minus m 1 equal to m, so your whatever n equal to 1, if you put m equal to 0 it will come. So that means m equal to 0 to infinity x of m into, so z power, so I'll replace n, so in terms of m, so that is m plus 1 it will become, so if this will give n equal to m plus 1, so in terms of n I can write it as m plus 1. So now this we can write it as x of minus 1 plus, okay, so now take out z power minus 1 outside. So since it is, so the z transform exit for m values, so now I can write it as m equal to 0 to infinity, so x of m into z power minus m. So now you can see here, so this is similar like x of z, only the change is variable, that is m. Instead of you can see here, instead of n value, so here it is only the variable which is m. So that we can write, so this one as x of minus 1 plus z inverse into x of z. So now this is your y of z for unilateral z transform when signal input x of n minus 1, okay. So now similarly we can write, so the unilateral z transform for different signals which is shifted versions, okay. Say for example w of n, if I define it as x of n minus 2, so then I can write it as w of z, which is nothing but x of minus 1 plus x of minus 2 into z power minus 1 plus, so similar like that you can go on right, and you can write it as z power minus 2 into x of z. So whatever the value of the shifting of that signal, till that value you can uh, stop and you can write. So similar procedure you have to follow to find out this one, okay. So first you need to find for n equal to 0 and n equal to 1, then for n equal to 2 you put the replacement of variable n minus 2 equal to m, then you will get z power minus 2 into x of z. So similarly like that, if you go on doing, that is something like v of n, if I define it as x of n minus 3, so then you will get v of z, okay, so which is equal to x of minus 1 plus x of minus 2 into z power minus 1 plus x of minus 3 into z power minus 3, okay, so plus z power minus, sorry, so this is x of minus 1 sorry, here it is x of minus 2 it will come, because if you put the value of n equal to 0, so we will get x of minus 2 here. So it is receding order, that is descending order. So because n equal to 0 if you put, you will get the initial value x of minus 2 and x of minus 1 into z inverse, then z power minus 2 into x of z. And similarly here x of minus 3 it will come. So first initial value, then x of minus 2 into z inverse, then x of minus 1 into z power minus 2, then you will get it as z power minus 3 into x of z. Okay, so like this you are go on getting the values for, if you go on shifting the values for unilateral z transform. Okay, so now we'll take one problem and we will find out the unilateral z transform. So how we can able to find it out. So now what is the use of this unilateral z transform? So this is very helpful for finding out the z transform of the causal signals. Okay, so it is very helpful to find out z transform of the of causal signals. So what is causal signals? So the whatever x of n or h of n whatever you define, so that will be 0 for n less than 0. Okay, so whatever the signal which you specify, okay, so that will be 0 for n less than 0. So then we can say that that is a causal signal. So this unilateral z transform, it is very helpful to find out the z transform of the causal signals. Okay, is it understood? Any doubt in this? Hello? So any doubt? Okay. So find out this one, unilateral Z transform. So determine, so unilateral Z transform of x of n, which is given by sequence 1, 2, 5, 7, 0 and 1. Okay, so this is a sequence which is given, and it is specified that the origin is here. Okay, so now find out the unilateral Z transform. So write the expression for unilateral Z transform, which is given by x of z, which is n equal to 0 to infinity x of n into z power minus n. So now since it is a limited values, we can directly find out by putting the value of n. So now this is the n index, which is equal to 0. Okay, so now if you put n equal to 0, what is the value, amplitude value, which is 1. So then you will get 1 into z power minus 1. Okay, sorry, so n is 0, no, so it is z power 0. So plus 2 into z power minus 1 plus 5 into z power minus 2 plus 7 into z power minus 3 plus 0 into z power minus 4 plus 1 into z power minus 5. So we will get it as 1 plus 2z inverse plus 5z power minus 2 plus 7z power minus 3 plus z power minus 5. So this is your unilateral z transform for this given signal. Okay, so now similarly find out for this unilateral z transform 2, 4, 5, 7, 3. Find out the unilateral z transform for this x of z. What you will get?
So it should start from 0 only, right? I mean 573 only.
Yeah, so you have to take only these values, because we are finding out only for positive values, not negative values. Even though if it is given, you should discard and you have to find out only for these values. So then what you will get? 5 plus 7z inverse plus 3z power minus 2. Okay, so got it?
Yes, sir.
So now find the unilateral z transform for this. So first one, we will be having x of n which is equal to alpha power n into u of n. Second one, we will be having y of n which is given by x of n minus 2. Okay, so where x of n is equal to alpha power n. So find out this, how we can find out. Write the expression for x of z and put the value of x of n and try to find out. So now for unilateral z transform, we know x of z which is equal to summation n equal to 0 to infinity x of n into z power minus n. So now put x of n which is equal to alpha power n into u of n. So u of n is 1 from 0 to infinity. So you will get alpha power n to z power minus n. So this we have already known formula, which we can write alpha into z power minus 1 whole power n. So this is in terms of alpha power n 0 to infinity, what we can write 1 over 1 minus alpha. So this we can write 1 over 1 minus alpha z inverse. So this we can compare the known formula, that is alpha power n. So this is nothing but 1 over 1 minus alpha. So now in place of alpha it is alpha z inverse. So we will get this one. So this is we have already done. So remember that and we will get the x of z as this one. Okay, so this is your x of z. So now for the second one, so you have to find out what is y of n, which is a shifted version of x of n minus. So that is for second one, y of n which is given as x of n minus 2. Okay, but x of n is given as the alpha power n. So now what is your x of z? X of z is, we have already find out, that is 1 over 1 minus alpha z inverse. So now we need to find for y of z. So how we can find out? So take the expression and put the values of n equal to 0 and like that. So then you will go on getting the value of, that is the z transform. Okay, so we know y of z which is given by summation n equal to 0 to infinity y of n into z power minus n. So now y of n which is given it as n equal to 0 to infinity x of n minus 2 into z power minus n. So now put the value of n equal to 0 here. Okay, so I will get x of minus 2 plus, so even if you put n equal to 0 for z power, it will become 1. So n equal to 1 to infinity x of n minus 2 into z power minus n. So now similarly, if you put the value of n equal to 1 here, okay, so if you put the value of n equal to 1 here, sorry, plus, so if you put the value of n equal to 1 here, you will get x of minus 1 into z power minus 1, okay, plus n equal to 2 to infinity x of n minus 2 into z power minus n. So now for x of n minus 2, I'll put n minus 2 equal to m. Okay, so then your n will become m plus 2. Okay, so then, so if you put n equal to in terms of m, so you will get 0 to infinity, so that you will get x of minus 2 plus x of minus 1 into z power minus 1 plus z power minus 2 into x of z. So that you will get. So this we have derived earlier. So whatever I have shown while doing unilateral z transform. So now we know the x of z. Put the x of z here, whatever we have, then that is your y of z. So that will give x of minus 2 plus x of minus 1 into z inverse plus z power minus 2 divided by 1 minus alpha into z inverse. So this is your complete y of z. Now it is understood. Any doubt? Hello? Anybody has any doubt? Okay. So try to find out for this unilateral Z transform x of n, which is given by 1 by 4 power n into u of 3 minus n. Find out this one. So this you have to concentrate here. What is the value? This you can write it as minus n plus 3, and try to find out from where to where it is exists. So you have the u of n like this. This is your u of n. Okay. Okay. So now shift the values of 3 plus 3. So if you do plus 3, you will get like this up to n equal to minus 3. So you will get that. So that we can write it as, so the u of n minus, that is n plus 3. So this is u of n plus 3. So now invert this one. So if you get the reflection of this, what you will get? Up to n equal to 3 you will get. Okay. So then your signal will be continuing from minus infinity to n equal to plus 3. So now this is u of 3 minus n. So now if you want to take x of z, so from where you have to take? You have to take n equal to minus infinity to plus 3, 1 by 4 power n. So into u of 3 minus n. So that is the value always equal to 1. So but we need to find out unilateral z transform. So for find out unilateral z transform, what is the value of n you have to take? So you have to take from n equal to 0 to 3. Okay. So into z power minus n. So you have to take only from n equal to 0 to 3, and you can find out the unilateral z transform. Okay. So now we can write this one as summation n equal to 0 to 3, 1 by 4 into z power minus 1 whole power n. So now we can put the values of n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. So because it is limited values, you can able to find out what is x of z. Find out the x of z. So now if you put the value of n equal to 0, it will become 1 if you put n equal to 0. So now if you put n equal to 1, 1 by 4 z inverse plus 1 by 16 if you put n equal to 2. Okay. And n equal to 3, 1 by 64 z power minus 3. So this is the z transform, unilateral z transform for this one. Now understood? Any doubt in this? Hello? Any doubt? Anybody? Okay. So now we will going to find the by using unilateral Z transform, how to find the natural response and forced response of a difference equation. Okay. So now clearly they will specify using unilateral Z transform. Okay. So use that unilateral set transform or the initial conditions which they are giving. Okay, earlier we have also find out the by using initial conditions we can able to find out the natural response of the difference equation. Okay, so natural response of the system which is described in terms of difference equation. So now for this one, find out the natural response of the system. Find the natural response of system. Okay, so described by the difference equation given by y of n minus 1 by 4 into y of n minus 1. Okay, so minus 1 by 8 into y of n minus 2, which is equal to x of n plus x of n minus 1 with the initial condition y of minus 1 which is equal to 0 and y of minus 2 which is equal to 1. So that we know the natural response of the system, it is only because of the input. Okay, so there we have find out the uh, y of n, that is yn of n natural response. Here by using the z transform, uh, the Z transform facility, and the usage of Z transform we will use, and we will try to find out the natural response of the system. Okay, so now how to find out? So now take this difference equation and take this Z transform, that is unilateral Z transform. Okay, so we'll take this difference equation, utilizing the unilateral Z transform we can find out the natural response. Okay, y of n minus 1 by 4 into y of n minus 1 minus 1 by 8 into y of n minus 2, which is equal to x of n plus x of n minus 1. So now try to take the z transform. So if you take a z transform, it will become y of z minus 1 by 4 into, so now this y of n minus 1 we can write it as x of minus 1 or y of minus 1 plus z inverse into y of z. So that we have just before this we have find out that. So we can write it as y of minus 1 plus z inverse into y of z. Okay. Similarly, you can write y of n minus 2 in terms of the z transform, that is y of minus 2 plus z inverse into y of minus 1 plus z power minus 2 into y of z. Okay. So this will be equal to x of z plus x of minus 1 plus, so z inverse into x of z. Okay, so we can write like this. So but here, so since we are telling it as natural response, this complete will become 0 because we have to take only initial condition, not the input. Okay, so we need not to take the input values, so that will become equal to 0. Okay, so now we can take y of z minus 1 by 4 into, now substitute the initial conditions which is given here, so then you will y of minus 1 will become 0 and y of minus 2 is substitute as 1. Okay, so this y of minus 1 will become 0. So now what you will get? So z inverse into y of z, so minus 1 by 8 into, so 1 plus z power minus 2 into y of z. Okay, so now we can rewrite this one, y of z minus 1 by 4 into z inverse into y of z minus 1 by 8 plus 1, sorry, minus 1 by 8 z power minus 2 into y of z. So now take y of z which is common, so this is equal to 0, and if you take y of z which is common here, so what you will get? So now send this the constant term that side. Okay, so you will take you will get y of z into, that is 1 minus 1 by 4 z power minus 1, and here it is minus 1 by 8 z power minus 2. This will be equal to 1 by 8. Okay, so now we will get y of z as 1 by 8 divided by 1 minus 1 by 4 z power minus 1 minus 1 by 8 z power minus 2. So now this is your y of z. Okay, so now you know the method to find out the roots of this. Okay, so find out the roots, and using partial fraction expansion method you can able to find out what is the inverse z transform, that is natural response. Now we can write this one. So 1 by 8 divided by, what are all the roots? So we can say here it is 1 by 8, the product should come 1 by 8, and the difference should come 1 by 4. So we can take 1 by 2 and 1 by 4 as the roots. Okay, 1 by 2 and 1 by 4 as the roots, product will become 1 by 8, and if you take difference 1 by 2 minus 1 by 4, you will get minus 1 by 4. So then you will get, so 1 minus 1 by 2 z inverse into 1 plus 1 by 4 z inverse. So this is the roots of this one. So now we can use the partial fraction expansion method. Okay, so use partial fraction expansion method. So use partial fraction expansion method and find out the values of a and b or k1 and k2. Okay, so if you take y of z, which is equal to k1 by 1 minus half z inverse plus k2 by 1 plus 1 by 4 z inverse. So now find out the values of k1 and k2 and tell me. So how we can find out the value of k1? We can find out 1 minus half z inverse into x of z. Okay, so at z equal to plus half, so what is the value? And similarly k2 equal to 1 plus 1 by 4 z inverse into x of z at z equal to minus 1 by 4. What is the value? K1 and K2. So now if you substitute, then you will get the y of z. By taking inverse z transform, you will get the natural response, that is yn of n. Okay, so this is k1 value and this one is k2 value. So tell me the values of k1 and k2. What you will get? K1 equal to, so 1 by 8 by 1 plus 1 by 4 z inverse at z equal to minus, that is plus half. So if you put z equal to plus half, it will become 2, and it will become 1 plus 1 by 2, it is 1 plus 1 by 2, it is 3 by 2, and you will get 4, it is nothing but 1 by 12. Are you getting 1 by 12? Hello? And similarly this one,
Minus 1 by 24.
this is how much? Z equal to
Minus 1 by 4.
minus 1 by 4. Okay, so what is the value? Minus.
1 by 24.
Okay, so now put this k1 and k2 values and you will get the y of z, and taking inverse z transform you will get y of n. Okay, so that is nothing but your natural response yn of n, so which is given by 1 by 12 into Okay, so this is nothing but 1 over 1 minus alpha z inverse. in in that format it is there, so we can write alpha power n. Okay, so that is nothing but 1 by half power n into u of n. So this is your for this expression, and you will get minus 1 by 24 into, so now this is nothing but in terms of minus alpha power n, so you will get minus 1 by 4 power n into u of n. So now this is your natural response. Okay, so understood how we can arrive the natural response from the Z transform, that is unilateral Z transform. Is it understood? Any doubt? So this one it is plus or minus, because if you put Z inverse is minus 4, okay, minus into minus it will become plus 4 by 2, and it will become 2 plus 1 3. So 1 by 8 into 3 1 by, so Subramania it is plus 1 by 24. Just check it, because
Yes, yes.
you are taking minus 1 by 4, minus into minus it will become plus, so here it is plus. Okay, so this is the natural response of the system. So now take one more problem and try to get the answer in the next class, so you will, at least you will get to know how to do it, this one. Okay, so take this one, y of n. So find the natural response of this one, 5 by 6 y of n minus 1 plus 1 by 6 into y of n minus 2. So take this one, and you will get this one as x of n. So find the natural response of the system. Okay, so take this problem and try to find out, and if you can get any doubt you can ask. Okay, so we will stop here and we will continue the